let's come to what is the nectar of life. And yes, one of the thought was from today's Murli about the simplicity of Baba's Gyan. And when he was describing that the drama is a big stage and it needs lights and the sun and the stars and the moon playing this role, such a nice way of giving a big picture about this physical world, the bigger picture about this physical world, and setting some limits to this physical world, whether it is the sun and the stars and perhaps the galaxies. You can put all of them the same denominator of this physical world. And then, of course, Baba telling us what exists beyond this physical world. At some point in the Murli, he was saying, if you can't remember anything else, even these simple points, just remember me. And the other day I heard this story, perhaps you are familiar with it, a version of it, but I was just reminded of the essence of the story, which is about a seeker that he goes to his guru and he says, I want to know truth. I want to know truth so much. I don't want anything except the truth. I want to know God. And the guru says, really, you want to know truth? Okay, let us go to the sea. I don't know if it was river or sea, ocean. And they go there together. And then as they enter the sea, the guru grasps the head of the of the seeker and he puts it into the water. And of course, the seeker was trying desperately to grasp the breath, and he was trying. And when the guru felt that was the last second before he would really suffocate totally, he allows him to come out, and the seeker comes out, and after he took the first breath of air, he looks at the guru and says, what kind of joke is this? What are you doing? What were you doing? I guess he must have been a little bit angry also. And so, and the guru, very equanimous, asks him without hesitation about his action, do you want truth? Do you want God as much as you were looking for the oxygen, for the breath? And somehow it touched something here that refreshed also something, reset something within the soul. And this is about our aim, why we're here really. What do we really want? What do we really want? And how much do I want? Whatever I want. And we can describe the reason why we're here. Maybe I want to know love. Maybe I want to live in truth, to know the self. Maybe all of us could say for sure that I want to know Baba. And somehow they're all connected, because what I realize is that the more I know what I am and experience what I am, and this is definitely helped, facilitated by knowing what I'm not. When I know that I'm not Ravan's property, somehow I know better what I am. The more I know who I am, I can see what I'm not. So somehow they're connected. And then I can know Baba. Because as we say, it takes one to know one. And the more I know Baba, Baba wants us to know him in order to know ourselves. So what do I really want? But Baba always starts with the self. Consider yourself a soul, very, very basic. And in order to want the truth, because the self, of course, is the very purpose of our existence here, but is also the first truth of who I am. Baba is the absolute truth, but I am the truth as well. I can't see it maybe as Baba sees himself or as Baba sees me. I can't see necessarily the self as the truth. But starting with the self, how much do I really want to experience the self and then to know Baba? Or how much do I really want to know Baba? And when I hear this statement that very few out of the few, more or less, Baba says this, know me as I am. There is a little thorn here. I'm thinking I wouldn't like to leave at the end. For me, I think this would be one big Dharamraj, not knowing Baba as he really is. So, what do I want? How much I want what I want? Yes, I want to experience the self. I want to experience truth and not falsehood. I don't want to realize at some point in the life, and definitely not at the end, that I had all these treasures and I hadn't used them. I hadn't realized their value. I hadn't understood something. So I didn't experience the self, and I was experiencing the role as the self. It's so different than the truth. And then I was not able to experience Baba. So every day and every moment is an opportunity. And this is something that I find very attractive, very inspiring, very encouraging, that what I haven't done all my Brahmin life, I can do this moment, I can do today. And I like to share this with the self and others, that Baba has said in one Murli that in one day you can achieve so much. And so if I start with how much I want my aim, the self and Baba, which is for this soul here, and perhaps this includes everything else, because if you experience the true self and if you experience Baba, then you can't but have the sweetness of Dharna, not the effort of Dharna, but the sweetness of Dharna. You can't but experience the sweetness of service, the love for others, the real love for the souls who are so trapped in this lifeless cartoon, missing out so much. And the more you experience the truth, the more you realize what is missed out when you're unconscious or when others are unconscious. And most of the people are unconscious. And not only they miss out truth, but also they suffer the Iron Age, it slides. So good to reset as often as possible, but definitely in the morning, and bring that energy of, I want truth, I want today to live in the light, to live as light, to live as this higher being, and nothing else, not to mix anything from the drama within this truth. And I want this more than anything else, more than remaining in this body. Can I bring so much clarity within and realize the value of truth, the value of the alokik reality, the alokik treasures? Maybe I often share how there are some words that one feels more attracted, and one of them is the magic I think truth is magical, and our stone intellect cannot see the magic of the power of yoga, of the power of the self, but the totally unadulterated self. So, do I really want to experience the self and all the powers and all the treasures of the self and live my life from this space as a fairy that has a magical wand and does some magic? Not that the interest is in the drama, but it's nice to experiment with the drama as well and play with it without expectations. Because if you really experience the alokik treasures, you don't think of the drama, but since you are in this drama, you play with it in a very free way with the magic of the alokik world. So yeah, and if I bring this element in the top of the awareness in front of me, that I don't want anything else except the self and God, which I think everyone else wants, but Maya doesn't allow us to see this, then I become like Vivekananda that says, breathe, eat, do everything with this one thought, allow it to become your blood. And I guess no matter how much we have done this, there are more margins to do this. And somehow this is connected with the slogan and the treasures that Baba was encouraging us to use. And again, it is a little bit, I don't know if pathetic is a nice word. I mean, I know more or less it's not a positive meaning, but really, isn't it a pathetic intellect or a pathetic situation where you have so many treasures, let's say in the bank, all the treasures of the world, and you don't use them, and you live the life of a miserable pauper? Sometimes we hear all these words that hold so much power, so much magic, and at least in this case, I find that there are always more margins, and it doesn't being perceived. It's not being perceived as I haven't done enough, but there is an enthusiasm to explore more. And so these are some of the thoughts from the Murli and the aim for today, to use the magical treasures by shining some light on them and seeing that they're real, that they're living, they're not just an idea, they're not just a definition, allowing them to be felt in the heart and to play with them throughout the day in a completely new way. And so many treasures there, the soul, the companionship with Baba. But in all of these, I think what is also necessary is accuracy, and accuracy is connected with not mixing. So simple, all of these things, but so powerful when we respect them, when we use them with more clear vision, more clear heart, without any burden, without any filter. So, because it's all so subtle and everything can be mixed, very subtle layers that do not allow us to experience the life and the power and the magic of what we are and what we have. We have Baba, and we are like Baba. Thank you.
Very nice. Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you. And this story and the person, desperate to get breath. Our search for truth unless we are in a immense sorrow, can it be real? Same level of desperation for truth. I'm just questioning, more like a little intellectual. In me, it is not like this. I'm not desperate for truth. Looking for just survival and some kind of a comfort. And truth is a bit more like an intellectual search hobby. That is. But is truth the priority of anyone, or is being free from pain? And truth is an answer. It is like it happens to be the way to come out of pain. Could it be like that? A little bit lateral, and just talking from my own present state.
Speaking more about Brahmins, because we are all in some kind of complacency, very easily we can go into this, and maybe we don't experience pain as such. Somehow we manage when something unpleasant comes with some Gyan and some yoga. So, or even if some extreme sanskaras that have been hidden come, still we can do something about them. But when I heard that story, the feeling that emerged was not a feeling connected with something that was painful and the truth would make me become free from that. But it was more like a religious feeling, I would say, a mystical feeling, a spiritual feeling that perhaps had been associated with a search in previous lives, which might be also connected with the pain of the mundane feelings that one has, even if they're pleasant, but they don't have the touch and the flavor of truth, which is so mystical and so, this sacredness that the soul is and Baba is. And so we haven't experienced this, and perhaps this can come a little bit painful. So to come back, so to the story, when I heard the story, I felt this yearning of this celestial, of this pure. Yes, I don't want anything less than this. And perhaps there is some subtle pain that I realize now that Prashant said this question or his thoughts. There was some subtle pain there of why I fall back to Ravan and why I allow this mixture when the aim is so clear and the method is very clear, and everything at this point, I personally or impersonally, I feel that everything is, for someone who wants really, everything is there. Because, the soul is not an idea, is not an image, is someone real that we have experienced him, and Baba is real, and we know what to do. So why am I falling back to so easily to the slides, and I identify with that Anna, and everything becomes important. So maybe there was that feeling there a little bit, and like being in front of Baba and say, Baba, I don't want anything else except you. And it was as if telling him or reminding him his responsibility that since this is what I want, be with me and pull me like a magnet. So somehow this brought something fresh, all of this together. But I can see what Prashant says, that it can be, of course, the pain of the strong sanskaras of Ravan, and one wants to become free from them because everyone knows deep down that there is something higher, Brahmin or not Brahmin, that this is not the normal. We all know it. But I would like to see how I can sustain this desperation, not in a negative way, not with a negative color, but this absolute aim, this absolute recognition that the truth is truth and we live only for the truth, and Baba is the truth. Why should I go for anything else at this point of time? So to remind the self, to shake a little bit the intellect to whatever stage it is. Maybe it's not bad, but it can definitely be better. So it's another way to refresh, to see more clearly, to motivate, because we need these motivators. I don't know if you met with Prashant.
Yeah, very clear actually. And contrast. Yeah, I agree actually. The pain of the fall. Yeah.
Just that how the approach to everything has to be totally, totally positive from the space of who I am, and we are already perfect. So even this feeling of going back to this identifying with this Anna and Ravan's sanskaras, even towards that, to make sure that I engage with that, or I don't engage much except for recognizing it, but having a totally approach of truth. I wouldn't say even positive, but coming always from the self, not identifying with ego mind and possessing or creating any feeling about any identification. And just to thank you, the last thing is really to thank you, because I feel the responsibility of what has been shared, that you can't share these things and then just be ordinary. So a lot of benefit. It's a mirror what we are sharing. It's a mirror. Thank you very much.